I mean, this is one of the best Premier League teams we've ever seen. And I thought we were looking at, I thought Bergkamp and Henry was one hell of a partnership for Arsenal back in the day. But in De Bruyne and Haaland, maybe it's gone to another level. Haaland's such a young man. He terrorised Arsenal's defence. De Bruyne's movement, I thought Pep Guardiola was quite magnificent, because I watched very carefully the games, Jim, in the build-up, the two previous matches.
Yeah.
I was concerned about Arsenal pressing high and what might happen if you leave them in a 1v1 situation without Saliba involved. But City had fine-tuned that system and made sure that the previous game, the goalkeeper was trying to hit the balls long, and in the end it was Stones, a lovely little ball in. Haaland creating space for himself, the way he would occupy two central defenders, really clever. But De Bruyne making the difference, because it was Haaland who was assisting De Bruyne to make the runs from deep. Partey wasn't going with him. So Arsenal were in disarray, and they wouldn't, on another day, obviously now they would learn from it.
So
but I have to say that Pep picked out the tactics for that, Jim,
and
Arsenal couldn't cope.
But that was, City were bloody good on every front, But let's talk Arsenal. Have Arsenal got the psychological strength to keep this title race going? Well,
what I'm trying to do here is to acknowledge the greatness of Man City and what Arsenal are up against.
And we agree. We accept that.
But I think, Jim, the problems didn't just start at Man City. Recently, Arsenal's conceded 11 goals in the last 4 games. The momentum was lost at Anfield. Momentum's really important. If you go to Anfield and you win, that was the one, Jim. When they came back into that game, and we'll applaud Liverpool for that. Arsenal now left looking at needing favours from other teams, as City got. They couldn't have believed it, sat at home watching Arsenal throw away an opportunity to win at Anfield, throwing away an opportunity.
Yeah.
But, look, they gave it their all, Jim. And we can see that the squad is not strong enough.
Yeah.
The 11, what's really a shame was if we didn't get a chance to see Saliba, and even with Saliba, by the way, in the team, it would have been very difficult for him as well. That's how good City are.
Of course, we accept that.
But nonetheless, it was a blow for us.
I know the likes of Rio Ferdinand was leaning on you the other night, so I'll lean on you now. Mm-hmm. Failure, choking, bottling. Those are the kind of words that are being thrown about Arsenal in some sections, in some quarters, Martin. Undeniably, that's the case. Is there progress in failure?
Look, of course there is, because they look at where they come from this time last year, Jim. We slipped out of 4th place this time last year to Spurs. We've now secured Champions League position. The number of points they have, the number of matches they've won, it's just about getting to the next level, Jim, having enough winners in the group, in the pack. And if you look at the copious amounts of potential defenders that Man City had to choose from the other night. Arsenal, look, nothing against Holding, but it was always going to be difficult for him. I think he was fearful that he was going to give away an early yellow card, but looking back, he maybe should have done that in the challenge that led up to the first goal. So it's about building for Arsenal, getting a squad that can actually go all the way. At the moment, they've gone some of the way, Jim.
Yeah. You called Arsenal winners the other night, and Ferdinand pulled you up in that.
Yeah,
was he right to pull you up in that?
I think he was out of order. I think he was completely out, because the way that they're building, Jim, you have to win tackles, you win headers, you win matches, you go on a run, you win trophies. The only thing missing is for winning trophies at Arsenal at the moment. That's what they need to do. But we've had a chance to fight. We've been in the race, and for many years Arsenal haven't. So we can applaud that. The Arsenal team.
But is that as good as it gets? We've been in the race.
No. It's going to get bigger, Jim. For people like you, and I can feel it, I can sense it in you. That's it for Arsenal. No, it's not. It's just the beginning. And we need winners now. And they're going to start to identify the targets they're going to need. They're going to get stronger players. They're going to have rugged central defenders, not just 2 that play on the side. The rest of them will be as well. The squad will grow and build. And this is the beginning. I'm convinced Arteta will do something special if they can keep him there. But
if they can keep him there.
Well, they've got to make sure they secure his future,
but Martin,
and then build from there.
Look further afield. City might get stronger next season.
Of course,
Newcastle are right in it and will improve.
So do we all give up then when City get better? No. Newcastle, I think, will be really tough for them next year to try and re-establish themselves and do what they've done this year, Jim, because they've been unbelievable. Isak's the icing on the cake. Look at him last night. But they've got to go and do it again. Now, they've got an incredible atmosphere for their home games. I see that. But away from home, it could be tricky for them.
Do you think Rio was a bit tough on Martin the other night?
Yeah, but I mean, listen, if Rio...
Are words like choking, failure, bottling tough?
Well, if
you didn't say that, though. You did.
Well, if Rio Ferdinand and the rest of the Man United acolytes in the media want to talk about bottling, then they can look no further than their own club, because they've had plenty of opportunities to review that particular outlook and attitude against Sevilla, against Liverpool, against Manchester City, against Brentford, against other sides, right? So let's get the consequences of the observations right. There is little doubt that Arsenal have installed a winning mentality in that football club.
Yeah.
Whether the ultimate win is going to be theirs, probably not at this moment in time. But to suggest that they aren't building a winning mentality in the football club and they aren't a group of winners is a stupid analysis by Rio Ferdinand.
What Rio was trying to say, he was trying to say that to be a winner, you have to win a trophy. And what I was saying,
ultimately,
was that the culture has changed at Arsenal.
And that's a win. Winning is all relative.
He spun it round. Jim, we've gone through Ozil. People...
What, are Scholes and Ferdinand just playing the Manchester United card on you at the moment? Because they know that that's what lights your fuse.
They played the man, not the game. The game is, are Arsenal a winning football club moving towards an outcome? The answer in my mind would be yes. So they played the man, not the game.
Are they tweaking you because of what they did at United?
I don't really care what they're doing. I'm focusing on Arsenal Football Club. That's the club that I love, the club that will always be in my heart. And I always
but it
want
clearly
Arsenal
gets
to do
you,
well.
doesn't it? It got
Not
you
really.
the other night.
I mean, maybe I'm playing them a little bit because I don't know if Man United are going to finish fourth. I'm looking at Liverpool and I seriously think Liverpool can catch them. Jim, they've got a game in hand, Liverpool. And if you look at the fixtures that Manchester United have, it's not going to be easy. But they're sitting there thinking that it's theirs. I don't know if it is.
Arsenal did not lose the opportunity to win this league by getting handed their head in 2 games by Man City. They got beat at home for a variety of different reasons. Offensively, they weren't strong enough at home, and then they got beat away because defensively they weren't strong enough. Right, so the two ends of the pitch were the two conundrums they had in both games, because they didn't have the strength of attack against Man City when they only had Nketiah, and they didn't have key components of their central defensive unit. They lost the opportunity to win this league, and they have to focus on why were they not able to overcome and deal with Liverpool's assault upon them.
6 points lost. In
why
3
could they have
games
not dealt with
was
West Ham, and why could they have not dealt with Southampton? That's where Arsenal need to look.
I suppose it was in their hands.
After all this, Martin, I think the question that comes out of it is, if Arsenal are going to try and bridge the gap, and the gap is a gulf when it comes to Manchester City, how do they do it?
Well, it's not. Their problem for City was themselves this year.
It's a gulf between the two.
They weren't motivated enough, and that's the problem for
not
Pep.
a gulf.
It can beat Jim.
Sammy, the other night it was a gulf.
In that moment in time, if everyone wins their last 4 or 5 games, right, and City win all their games, City will win the league by 4 points. Right? They won the league previously by 19, 20 points. The gulf isn't quite as wide as you think it is.
Arsenal need to keep making it difficult. Make it difficult. They've got to go to Fulham. They've got big games coming up in the Champions League. They want to get this boxed off. Then they've got a couple of home games. So they'll see the Fulham game as the one that wins them the Premier League.
But they do always have to question themselves as well, because this was a heavyweight contest and only one heavyweight turned up in that match.
Right.
And Arsenal have to look at themselves and work out why, because there was a reason that they were outplayed and they were outfought, and they were outfought in every aspect. And central defenders like Rob Holding, you don't need to single out, but they were terrified of Haaland. They didn't lay a glove on him, and they didn't compete in that game. And then you give away goals like Rudiger that gives away the 3rd goal for no reason. For no reason, knocking passes into players to Man City to give opportunities to the team. Arsenal were as bad as Man City were good. And then when you've got that gap on an individual game, like Arteta said, Man City were operating at the highest level, we were operating at a different level, and that gulf is so vast.
And you don't think, man, that there's any danger of them folding this point in?
What?
They're not going to, because various people are suggesting, mind you, fans of other clubs. Richie, a Liverpool fan, Arsenal choked, Martin, against the bottom club and West Ham. They're showing signs of choking at the moment. What they've done is admirable, but they've choked.
They have to adjust, and they've got to win to get the next game, Jim. Chelsea will be seeing that as a great opportunity for them to bounce back. Look at the problems, the adversity that they've had. They'll be hoping that they can beat Arsenal at home.
Can Chelsea bounce anywhere at the moment?
Well, no, but there'll be some result. But Arsenal just don't play without fear, Jim. Just go and put City under pressure. Let's see what City do first. I mean, look, it'd be nice if someone did Arsenal a favour. I don't see much of that going on. When you look at the way that look at the way West Ham played to stop Arsenal from winning the Premier League. Come on.
Right. Who's going to do them?
West Ham played that
play
way
for
to
themselves. Yeah, but they don't want their local rivals to win it.
They didn't want to be in a relegation zone.
Don't go in that direction,
I think their fight
man.
was based upon that.
No one's going to do you a favour. Why would they?
No, but let's see what happens with Fulham.
Okay. We'll stay on this theme at the moment because a lot of people get involved in the discussion, and that's what we want. Jim Martin and Simon live in talkSPORT.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.